welcome to TICE. Can you please tell us about your role at SBI and how do you really, manage things at SBI?
Yeah, actually, I'm Rubi Mishra. I'm Assistant General Manager for SME Division, and I'm posted at Administrative Office of Noida. And we as a SBI is really working towards ecosystem of a startup, and we have already opened a branch in Delhi NCR, that is at Gurgaon, for startup, and we are in the process of opening a branch in Noida also. So today we have participated in this initiative of investor meet organized by IIM Lucknow, Noida campus.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the incubation center of IIM Lucknow. So as we come to know that there are lots of startups who are coming, I think around 28 for pitching, and there are 40 plus investors also. So we decided to participate to make them aware of SBI policies towards the startup, to facilitate them on the asset side also and to the liability sides also.
Okay, so during this partnership, SBI is here to present their schemes, not to really present funds or anything, like offer any such thing.
There are two parts how the startups are funded, that is the capital and the debt. So for capital funding, there are investors, but their short-term needs in the form of cash credit, or they need sometimes they need the remittances. For transaction banking, they need current accounts. For that, we are there. SBI is there.
All right. So can you just brief me quickly, like how SBI really is, helping startups?
Yeah, see, we have come with a new concept of Shubharam current account, where for initial 12 months they don't have to maintain any minimum balance.
Okay.
So that is a very good enablers for them. They can open the account. We just need certificate of recognition, that is from DPIIT, because they have to be registered there, startup. So in this way, they can start their transaction banking with the KYC and certificate of recognition with the bank. So that is the one product. And we have other products for financing their routine needs, for their short-term needs of CC and term loan. And for that we need just DPIIT recognition certificate and their KYC and their recognition by the state-wise policy. There is a state-wise policy of a startup, so that should be in line with, the startup should be in line with the state-wise policy. Okay. And then startup should show the scalability, commercial viability of their project, and there should be no default by the promoters and by the startup. So we are there.
So these are some simple, basic criteria that SBI really look for.
Yes.
Apart from that, female entrepreneurship is rapidly growing in the country. So is there anything specific which SBI is doing for female entrepreneurs?
Female entrepreneurs, so we are doing this Stand Up India. We have a very good scheme of Stand Up India, where we give loans to the companies or the firms where females are having more than 50% of stake shareholding. So, and that is collateral free, and there is government guarantee for the same also. So that is a very good initiative by the SBI, which we specifically do for the females.
That's great. Yes. Also there is this thing that there is a perception that funding winters is going on. There is a lack of funds in the industry. So do you think in such scenario, startups are really opting for loans instead of getting funding?
See, startups, here what I am able to understand, that initially when they have some idea, they have to go through a process of incubation, then prototype testing, then proof of concept, because bank will also need the commercial viability and scalability, but before that they need capital to do all these expenses. For that, investors are there, because I am seeing investors are quite interested. So for that, maybe an investor is spending on 10 or 15 startups, different portfolios, because all startups may not be successful, but few will become successful. So for that, after having that capital, they need banking solutions. Then we come into the picture, because we are the custodian of the public money, so we have to lend it judiciously, but we are there for the startups, because ultimately with wealth creation, they also create job opportunities.
True.
So we are
That's
there for this social cause.
So since SBI is, the backbone of country's banking system, we can really say that. And at the same time, there are things like Silicon Valley Bank collapse, which recently happened. So do you think that startups are really safe in our country with the banking system specifically?
No, startups are perfectly safe with the country because SBI specifically and PSU specifically, we have a very robust system. And even, in the time of, you must have seen that bubble, software bubble, or collapse of what I will say, that mortgage crisis, subprime lending crisis was there. We were intact. Our bank was intact. We don't have to suffer because we follow a specific system, specific guidelines, and we stick to it. So I don't think startup is having any problem, or even bank is having any problem.
Okay, so coming to my last question. So can you just highlight the trends within the startup industry? Like how are their banking is really processing? Like what are the top key trends according to you that startups really follow while taking loans from bank?
See, initially startup looks for a bank. Initially they look for a bank, and they need some ease of doing the things. They need that they open the account at their doorsteps, and immediately they get all the services. So for that, keeping that thing in mind, SBI is going to start a specific, not even a help desk, a branch for startups, where there will be less hurdle, less crowd, and the person sitting will be knowledgeable, and they will be hand holding them. So for startups, what they start from opening a current account, having a initial banking relationship, because sometimes funds have to come from the outside India also.
True.
Sometime in INR, so they need a basic account first, and capital, which is taken care by the venture capitalist. And after that, they seek, when they have to expand, when they have stabilized their system, they have stabilized their market, they need to expand. And for expansion, banks role come, and we are there to handhold. That's it. We are there to handle.
So it was really nice talking to you, Ruby, and we have just heard that how SBI is really playing a huge role in fostering the startup ecosystem in the country. I hope that startups out there will be able to get the benefits from it. Thank you so much for connecting with us.